995 Talk, 995.com. Me. Pardon me while I do my mid-show vocal warm-ups.
You.
8:06, that's Mark Spud Friedman in for the vacationing Valerie Vining tomorrow. Steve will be in for the vacationing Valerie Vining while still doing the job he's doing right now. I'm forcing him into double duty. And I said duty. Okay. I know. 62 years old. Can take the man out of the boy, but you can't take the boy out of the Catholic priest's arms. What is it? I'm not sure. Anyway.
Might not want to go any further with that.
What? It is Dixon and Vining, and we have got ourselves a hot one today. It's going to be up to 88 degrees with a very strong chance of rain, 60% chance of rain. That's going to be like the afternoon pop-up thing, and it's going to be scattered, but they will be around. Tomorrow, 50% chance of rain and 91 degrees. 45% chance of rain on Wednesday. It looks like kind of a rainy week all week, but again, this is just the afternoon pop-up storms, which means you could get some or you could not get some. Every day is kind of a 50-50 chance, Bud.
That's right. Either it will or it won't.
Every day is kind of 50-50.
You can tell.
I just read this the other day, by the way, and I thought it was interesting. I just read this a minute ago, I should say. It is about Bob Baumhauer. So we were talking about this last week about when did wings first become a thing, because we're doing the summer wing deal. We should invite Spud on one of these. You want to come with us and eat wings some Thursday?
Once I'm well.
Yeah, once you're well, once you're okay. I understand. He's not doing too good right now.
He's not.
He's deathly ill. I'm glad you're right here in the studio with me.
Yes.
It was 45 years ago that Bob Baumhauer actually opened Wings and Things in Tuscaloosa. He and his buddy Philip Weaver became the first to introduce buffalo chicken wings to the state of Alabama. Started with one restaurant, of course. Now it's Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Got a big one that we went to in Vestavia Hills.
It's nice.
It was our very first visit.
Really nice. We used to play trivia out at the one when it was on 280.
Yep. And there was one on Lakeshore here as
Correct.
well, but they moved that one. I think that's the one that moved to Vestavia Hills. Nonetheless, just thank you, Bob Baumhauer, for introducing chicken wings to the state of Alabama, because we wouldn't have anything to try this summer if you hadn't. We'd be completely out of ideas.
How far along are we on that?
5. We've done 5 so far, haven't we? Is it 5? I want to say 5.
Okay.
Seems right, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we doubled up on 1 week.
That's right. We went to 2, both on 4th Avenue North. My coworkers were a little nervous. I said, listen, we're all going to die of something. In our case, it might be lead poisoning.
You went in the daytime, didn't you?
Yeah, we did in the daytime, yes.
I recommend that.
Not significantly better. This is Randall Woodfins, Birmingham, America. All right, let's dive in and do this, shall we?
And now, it's Dixon and Vining's top 3 things you need to know.
Still waiting to find out about the fate of our top scorer, Flo Balogun, and whether or not he's going to be allowed to play tonight against Belgium. He was dealt a red card 1-game ban. President Trump intervened, and then FIFA said, all right, we'll suspend that for a year. If he doesn't get in any more trouble, he'll never have to serve that punishment. But yeah, let's have him play against Belgium. I have a feeling Trump appealed to their better instincts, like, come on, everybody wants to see we want to see the best. We want to see the 2 best teams play each other. Let's not be, I think he probably, dug in a little bit and hit him in the heartstrings and also in the money strings. Like, don't you want people watching these games? Yeah.
When do we have any notice of when the hearing is going to be held? Where?
No. First off, I don't think it's going to be a public hearing. I think it's probably going to be something private that takes place behind scenes. Belgium has already, by 8 o'clock Eastern time, had to turn in their request for an appeal. And I think that they're going to make that decision. They're going to look at the appeal, and then they're going to make a decision based on that and what they have already. And again, the video, which just clearly shows that there was no way, shape, or form was this intentional. If it had been intentional, I'd be the first person to say, yeah, he shouldn't play. But you don't have to watch this thing but 1 or 2 times before you go, yeah, he didn't mean to do that.
They say if it's real dangerous, it doesn't have to be intentional. and the severity of what it looks like in slow motion is terrible.
Oh, good Lord.
But during if you watch it during live thing, you'll say, well, that's just a football play.
It went fast, and the guy popped right back up again.
Right.
So, come on, man. Multiple airports across central Alabama are receiving upgrades through FAA grants. If you had to guess how many airports there are in Alabama, Steve.
That would get an FAA grant?
It will just any.
You deserve one.
Just give us a number. How many airports do you think there are?
35.
35. That's a good guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many there are. I know how many are getting grants.
Okay.
To give you a question, don't know the answer.
Right. That's
Sounds
right.
like Judd.
That's pretty much it.
Sorry.
Thanks, Captain.
Yeah.
Knock, knock. Who's there? I don't know, Babs, but I do know this. You've got to beware of your uvula. Center, Piedmont, Cherokee County Regional Airport is getting $182,000. Coleman Regional, Folsom Field, $150,000. Sylacauga. Do you know there was a Sylacauga, Merkel Field? $390,000.
Not terrifically surprised. I imagine it's quite small.
Aniana and Robbins Field is getting two different grants, $62,000 and $81,000. Pell City, St. Clair County, $252,000. Talladega has got three, and Tuscaloosa's got one. $56,000, $220,000, $225,000, $435,000. Wow.
Whoa.
Pretty soon it adds up. So what kind of planes fly into these places?
I'm guessing small ones.
Private rich people wanting to land right near their. Well, for Tuscaloosa, I got a good idea.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's actually,
football stuff.
Talladega, I can pretty much tell you it's a lot of NASCAR.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Safe bet.
Center Alabama.
You start looking at these small ones, though. Yeah, Center, Aniana. I flew into Aniana once. The plane was so small, we tried to put it in the hangar. There was already a suit on it.
Nice.
See, I need my own little board. How long have I been asking for this, Richard? My own little soundboard where I could.
You had one at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
And it never worked. It never worked properly.
No, it never did.
Never could get it to operate properly. Handed it off to Jason Lee, and true to form, he just let it sit. Bless his heart.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, and he broke it.
The average cost of the July 4th cookout this year for 10 comes out to $738 per person, or so they would have us believe.
No, $7 and something, wasn't it?
$7.38 per person.
Per person.
Isn't that what I said?
I said 700.
Sorry, 738.
That's so
738 for
cheap.
10
That
people.
does seem a little expensive.
A little high.
Yeah, but doesn't $7.38 seem cheap for ribs and potato salad and baked beans and lemonade and a dessert?
Until you're serving 10 people and it comes out to $738, then it's not that cheap anymore.
$73.
Yes.
Man, multiplication sucks.
That's right.
It's
You got a calculator app on your phone?
No, and
Okay.
I probably ought to get one, don't you think?
I would.
if this is the way the mathematics is going to continue to go. Nonetheless, it's I don't know, $7.38. It's higher it's up 4% from last year.
I'd like to get a cheeseburger, some potato salad when I can eat, baked beans, lemonade, and a dessert for $7.38. I love that.
I'm trying to figure out how much I spent. It was more than $73, I can tell you that.
You're probably going to need a calculator.
Yeah, maybe I should go invest in one of those. I hear they're very expensive. They're
Yes,
like $400.
They were at one time. I had a friend who paid $400 for a 4-function calculator.
Oh, man.
Now you get it in a Cracker Jacks box.
Easily. What? Cracker Jacks? No,
Yes.
all you get is stupid pictures. Pictures and lick and stick tattoos. Flipsy's Furniture, 1811 Crestwood Boulevard in beautiful Irondale. Flipsy's Furniture has got the furniture to suit almost any home. By that, I mean all you have to do is walk into their showroom, 28,000 square feet. You're going to find something that is going to work decor-wise with the design of your house, whether it be something that was built very recently, something that's mid-century modern, something that was built in 1914, like the house I lived in Highland Park for years. It takes a certain kind of furniture style to work within your home, and Flipsy's has it all. At that location, now at the Hoover location, they have kind of Hoover-centric furniture. You'll have to go see it for yourself. It's right there on Highway 31 in Hoover, right across from the Galleria next to 2nd and Charles. They have got 12 months Amos Cash. They have got white glove delivery and ask if they're still doing that 4th of July sale, 25% off everything that is American made. 25% off everything that is American made. Woo! That's a deal, my friends. Flipsy's Furniture. Find out more online, flipsysfurniture.com. Bessemer.
Seems like daddy in bed dying. Watch his hair been turning.
Eric Burden and the Aminals. Man. He could really belt it out, couldn't he?
So, underrated now. I think they were properly rated back in the 60s. but
Probably.
As
Yeah.
the Rolling Stones and obviously the Beatles and then Led Zeppelin and some other groups, they've been knocked down where they shouldn't be.
Well, it's a little bit like when your standing in a long line and someone comes and gets in line behind you, even though you're not moving, you still feel pretty good.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not the last one here. That's all that matters. 821 with Dixon and Vining on Talk 99.5 and Talk995.com. You know, we were talking last week, Spud, about how I feel very blessed. We got the World Cup, and we talk about the people that are showing up and making all the videos and talking about how much they love the United States of America. I ran across another one over the weekend that just about brought a tear to my eye as this guy was leaving. He was on his way to the airport. He's like, if anybody can come up with a way to keep me here for any reason, he's an English guy and, of course, or a German guy, rather, and they lost. So he was like, he was on his way home. And he was absolutely heartbroken. The news interviewed him.
Tearing up.
Yeah. The news interviewed him, and he was almost sobbing uncontrollably about how much he loved America and how much he really wanted to stay here. He says, I'm more upset about leaving America than I am about Germany losing, which is fascinating to me. I did finally see a video out of Mexico, and it was Koreans, I believe, celebrating with the Mexicans who had just beaten them in Mexico City. And I thought, oh, that's fun. They're like, hey, we love a party. All right, we lost. Well, let's party. You're partying. We're going to party with you, even though we lost. It's okay. Good. That's just what World Cup is. Bring all the people together. But it's very fortuitous that America's 250th birthday happened under a president who is an unabashed lover of America. And when you live in a country in which you can become a multi-billionaire and then become president and even make another $1.5 billion, you're going to love the country, right?
Right.
I tend to believe you're going to love the country. I never really got the unabashed patriotism out of Barack Obama. I never really felt like he was my country, do or die. I love my country with all my heart and soul. Did he want to make it better in his eyes? Yes, of course. And I think a lot of people got that wrong. He's trying to ruin the country. No, he thinks he's making it better. You have to understand and see things from his perspective. If you don't like what he's doing, elect somebody else next time. And so we did. We brought in Donald Trump. There are many people who think he's trying to ruin the country. I say, in his eyes, he's trying to make it better. Joe Biden slept for 4 years, so that doesn't count. We're not doing that. And then now we got Trump again, a guy who really is hardcore in love with the country. And I feel like Bill Clinton had a kind of a wavering relationship with the United States of America. I never felt like he was, an unabashed patriot. And he said enough to give you good reason for that. I loathe the military.
It also depended on which woman he was with.
That has something to do with
George W. And Ronald Reagan,
yeah,
also up near 100% on patriots.
No real question about whether or not those guys were patriots. So it was very fortuitous. We got FIFA here, and we got the 250th while Donald Trump was president, and he, put together quite a shindig on the Mall. Got rained out. Like 90% of the program had to be canceled, but he still got out there and gave his hour-long speech. I watched it the next morning because I had recorded everything. And I had recorded everything right up until midnight, figuring, that should cover it, right? I go to the speech. He starts at just about 11. And I'm fast forward. Amazing place. Everybody's people used to make fun of America, but now it's we're on top. We're the best we've ever been. Forward. I get to 11:55, and he finally stops talking. He gave a 55-minute speech after people had just been rained out.
He can't quit.
For 3 hours.
He loves the microphone.
God,
and the camera.
And the sound of his own voice.
Yes.
And
but you do quite well.
And I'm fine with that. I mean, look, every single president ever elected has been a narcissist. You have to be a narcissist to run for that job, to believe that you'd be good at that job. Whether you are or not, you have to be a narcissist.
Oh, yes, that's a prerequisite.
Yeah, so I get it. Anyway, 3 minutes pass, and then the first fireworks go off. I'm like, okay, here we go. 2 minutes into it, done. I stopped the recording at midnight. I was like, missed the whole show. Because of the 3-hour rain delay. Sad. Now, I tell you all that to tell you this. Zoran Mamdani's wife skipped America 250 to go to an Islamic spiritual wellness retreat in Spain. Yeah, Republican council members are a little less than thrilled with her. New York Post reported that Dowaji, that's Zohran Mamdani's Mrs. name, was seen Monday at Newark International Airport before boarding a flight to Palma and heading to a sold-out retreat run by the Women Sanctuary. You need a women's sanctuary if you're Muslim. Nothing says America 250 quite like skipping the celebration for a Mediterranean vacation, but I'm not surprised because she's made her hatred of America very evident, said Councilwoman Joanne Ariola, a Republican from Queens.
And then Mamdani made a speech that was highly critical of the United States. Some of these people just can't bear to say this is still the best country in the world to live in, and the proof of that is there are people dying to get in here, and people who say they're dying to get out won't leave. I mean, you don't have to do. It's not like getting out of China where they're going to keep you from going. You want to go, you can go.
I think we're missing a very important point here, and that is that the Republican from Queens, councilwoman's name is Joanne Ariola. What the hell?
That was just a nickname, actually.
She should go with her middle name.
Joanne Goodbody is her actual birth name.
828. Yeah, I agree with you. Anytime anybody feels the need to get up and make a speech where the United States, look, we used to be sold American excellence on a regular basis. In school, that was pretty common. It's becoming scarcer and scarcer. And then we wonder why we have all these kids going into college who think socialism would be a better answer. And you're like, because you were never taught that capitalism is the by far best system of an economy, a free market economy that lifts more people out of poverty, achieves more, creates more, right? Invents more than any other form of government, because we're not teaching them this. And that's a little bit disturbing. Why are we not teaching them this?
One of the things that illustrates that is Barack Obama's return of the Winston Churchill, because from Kenya, England, Great Britain was a horrible place that, took advantage of their country.
Yeah.
And so he had animosity built up through years of learning from a perspective that England was an oppressor to him. Over here, we got rid of that. I mean, we're past that now. That was 251 years ago now.
Yeah.
So we kind of look at them as an ally, and Churchill really helped us in World War II, which Kenya wasn't that involved in World War II.
No, normal Asia.
So it's just perspective.
Yeah, it really is. At the same time, it is almost impossible, and it's impossible to watch these videos and see people coming in here and saying, look at the size of these houses. I found out that this one cost $400,000, and this comparable house almost anywhere in Europe would be twice that. And I'm like, oh, we thought we had a housing crisis. We had no idea.
I like the ones about drink refills and portions of sizes.
Yes.
But most of all, I like the TSA confiscating ranch dressing. Can we not open a small ranch dressing store chain in Europe? Hidden Valley.
Guys, get the envelopes and add the mayonnaise yourself. You can do it. I know you can do it.
Or put it in your luggage.
I'm with him. I think Hidden Valley is missing out on a fantastic opportunity.
I agree. They should be.
As is Carrier and a whole bunch of other air conditioning companies.
They should absolutely be expanding into. Although, look, Europe, some of these people are like, the power grid in England would never withstand these air conditioners.
That's correct.
It's amazing that America has managed to figure out a way to make this work. I'm like, well, we did it a little at a time, 8:30, Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. He's Spud, by the way. when we can say goodnight and stay together. You know, Al Jardine can still hit those notes, which is frightening.
And his son is even better.
Yeah, oh, they're fantastic, man. They are pretty much the last. Them and Mike Love, you know, they're still trying to make the Beach Boys work out there, which is good. Because people need to see him. They say America. I was surprised that Trump didn't try to invite them to the 250th.
That's just because he's a big fan of them. I was thinking, I'm driving down to the beach Saturday pre-dawn, and I'm thinking, should I just turn it on a Beach Boys playlist, or I've downloaded from the library a biography of Benjamin Franklin, one of those two.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know.
That depends. How much do you feel like dozing off while you're driving?
Oh, I don't want to doze off.
All right, Beach Boys it is. I got Sirius XM on my phone and in my truck, and so over the weekend I was trying to find something good to listen to while I was doing all this cooking. I mean, I say I'm making ribs, or I'm doing burgers and dogs and brats or whatever. There's all these sides that come into play as well. And my guests are like, can we do anything to help? I'm like, no, because I know exactly what I want done and how I want it done. So sit down and just
get out of my way.
Enjoy the experience, drink my booze, and we'll, so I had to find some music. And it was a toss-up all weekend long between the Classic Rewind channel, which claimed they were having an all-American weekend. No British bands at all, or no foreign bands at all. Well, that was a problem because they played some Foreigner. And I'm like, well, half that band is foreign. Right off the bat, you got a problem. And then a few songs later, they played AC/DC. I was like,
entirely Australian.
Yeah, I was like, I got to find something else. And I went, there's a Beach Boys channel. They were doing a Beach Boys channel. So I basically cranked that up and listened to it for the whole rest of the
Probably
weekend.
50 different songs. You could sing along with everyone without repeat.
Well, and it was good because they were all my favorite Beach Boys songs, like that one, Wouldn't It Be Nice? Caroline No, which I adore, probably one of my favorites, if not Good Vibrations, obviously. I Get Around, Be True to Your School, all the classic Beach Boy stuff. And you got Aruba,
Kokomo.
Yep. A little bit of everything there. Like you said, 50, maybe 60 songs that made the rounds again and again and again. And I was like, I could listen to this some more today if it's still going. I'd be okay with that.
I didn't realize that Classic Rewind was doing it. I was flipping around kind of yesterday afternoon as I was on the way home. Hair Nation was saying they were doing the same thing. It was all American bands all weekend long.
Cool.
Let me make a recommendation to you two.
Okay.
The Beach Boys did an album in Nashville called Stars and Stripes. It's their songs, but with country music lead singers.
Right.
Timothy B. Schmidt does Caroline No.
That's
so
right.
You can imagine. But the one I really like best is Willie Nelson's Warmth of the Sun.
Oh, yeah.
It is really good. And they're laughing at, if you watch the YouTube part of it, they're laughing at Mike Love trying to help Willie Nelson sing the song. But there's a bunch of good songs. Lori Morgan does a good song on there. And Junior Brown, 409.
Love me some Junior Brown.
You could listen to that whole album without skipping.
Absolutely, and that Willie Nelson version of Warmth of the Sun will send chills down your spine.
Correct.
If you're a fan of either the Beach Boys or Willie Nelson, or both, like I am. So
Same for me.
8:39 with Dixon and Vining. He's Mark Spud Friedman, of course. Here's my nightmare. Windsor, Colorado. Man is recovering after he was bitten by a rattlesnake 3 times during a family outing.
I saw this.
Sending him into
Get away from the
anaphylactic
snake.
shock. Well, here's the thing. He didn't even know what was going on or that he'd been bitten. They were in Estes Park and celebrating his grandson's 13th birthday. And as they were heading back, someone said, hey, let's stop in that secret spot that we know. It's just a little spot you drive off the road. The group walked on rocks along a river. Padilla said he suddenly felt an impact on his leg. Steps down again. Next thing I know, I get hit from the back. Boom, like somebody punched me with a thorn. Family quickly headed back to their vehicle within minutes. Padilla said he began feeling disoriented. So this happened so quickly he didn't even see the snake.
Dang.
But chances are good he stepped on it or stepped on a rock that was on it,
Yeah,
which
could be.
it felt threatened, obviously, and then came up and bam, bam, got him 3 times. I also suspect, by the way, that this was a small one, a baby snake. Again, why he didn't see it is that it was so small.
Yeah, that could
I
be
mean, a rattlesnake is, you don't miss them. I've seen multiple rattlesnakes.
On land.
Yeah, on
They
land, yeah.
tend to get to the point where if you get too close to them, they give you a warning.
They do. That's why they're called rattlesnakes. They're very nice.
They're very nice.
Yeah, nice enough to say,
In that way.
back off, Jack.
Let's take your spot. I'll take mine.
They were driving 5 minutes. Next thing I know, I'm starting to feel really weird. I'm getting fuzzy. His wife said she noticed visible symptoms. His eyes started turning red. He went through 18 vials of antivenin.
Oh, dang.
18. Wow. Good thing he managed to survive. But that's the problem with the little ones. Same problem with the little scorpions. They don't know how to measure out their poison. So when they hit you, they basically just dump what they got.
That's why they say they're more dangerous than the adults.
Yeah, the little ones are much worse. That's why it took 18 vials of antivenom
Holy
for this
cow.
guy. And it's a good thing.
But that the bite is not powerful enough to frighten you that badly. I mean, he didn't. He said, I didn't really even know what happened.
Another reason why I think it was a little one, because if you got bit by a real adult rattlesnake, you would know it. Okay. There'd be two the puncture holes are exactly like what you see in the movies. They're exactly like what you've seen on TV. They're exactly like what you've seen in any picture book of this. It's two very deep, very perfectly spaced holes that it's not good. We had to do a lot of this training for Boy Scouts because we went to camp in an area that had a lot of snakes. And fortunately, nobody ever got bitten by one while I was there. But, you train and train and train so that if it does happen, you automatically know what to do and you don't have to worry about it. And we were a long way away from a hospital. We were about an hour away from a hospital at that particular Boy
Where
Scout
was this,
camp.
in Minnesota?
In Minnesota,
Okay.
yes. But perhaps they've built one closer to there since then. But in the meantime, anytime that somebody actually got a serious wound of any kind, and you had, you'd be like, can we handle that here? Is there a way we can handle that here? Can you stop the bleeding? Because otherwise, you're in a car for an hour trucking along some back roads trying to get to a hospital, an emergency room, where they may, look at it and go, look, here's an antibiotic shot and here's some bandages and get out of here. Well, we wasted a lot of time, gasoline, money, and fear trying to do that. So we tried to get into a position where we can handle almost anything ourselves, but not a snake bite. You weren't going to handle a snake bite without getting some antivenin into your body.
I was at the emergency room with my then wife because she had stepped on a bee that stung her right in the middle of the bottom of the foot.
Ouch.
So she was hurting. And we went to the emergency room, and she's whining and complaining, which I probably would have too. But then there's a guy about 6'5", long blonde hair, carrying a limp boy in his arms like this. Mm-hmm. And I said, what happened? He said, he got bit by a snake. I said, you go in front of us. She said, I'm hurting here. I said, he might be dying.
Yeah.
And they got him. They really just put you in a room and keep a close eye on you to see if it's a poisonous snake or not.
Obviously.
If you knew it was a rattlesnake.
Right.
Remember when we used to do punchlines only?
Yes.
Doctor says you're going to die.
That's a classic. Speaking of the bee sting, you need to tighten up your stance.
See, it never would get old. A whole hour and a half of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, punchlines only.
That's it.
Maybe we should bring that back around again one Friday.
Yes.
844 Dixon Inviting, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Alabama Men's Clinic, worried about your testosterone, just like you should be. If you have not kept an eye on it, you have no idea where you stand, but you are finding yourself draggy. You are finding yourself just falling asleep at all the wrong times, not really up to speed on whatever it is you should be doing and need to be doing, then it might be a testosterone issue. Go get tested, $99 for your initial consultation. You'll have a number by the time you leave, and then they'll talk to you about how to get more testosterone into your body. They'll help you with that. It's a plan. They have a plan for you. Could be a plan to handle your low T, a plan to handle your ED, and your hair loss and your weight loss. Well, avail yourself of everything they have at the Alabama Men's Clinic. They know their stuff, and they're very, very good at what they do. Nicest people on the planet, too, by the way, and they are ready to treat the whole human. They look at you as a man, not just as parts, and that's important. The Alabama Men's Clinic, alabamamensclinic.com, okay, online. Make an appointment there in 30 seconds or less, alabamamensclinic.com. or give them a call, 598-7000. They'll be happy to help you out. Mason Williams, little classical guess. We got to get to the horns part. We can't cut out before the horns.
This is supposed to be one of those songs that marks your progress as a guitarist.
Yeah.
If you can play this correctly, you've achieved level 8 of 10 or something.
I never even tried.
It's too hard.
Yeah.
I saw Jim Stafford playing this one time. Glenn Campbell, obviously.
All right. Bring in the horns. Love it. All right, Spud. You know what this is?
No. I thought it might be headphones, and now I think it might be a fan.
It is a cooling device that you wear around your neck. Sitting at 78% battery right now.
Whose is it?
It's mine.
Oh, and what? Use it to.
Try it and slide it right over. It sits on your shoulders, kind of, but over around your head. Careful.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is nice.
It chills the back of your neck, and then if you don't have your headphones on, it would blow straight up. Well, it does get kind of the size of your head there as well. Yeah. I use that thing when I'm walking across 98-degree parking lots in Alabama from one store to another. I just got this the other day. I had a gray one that was kind of the low-end version of this. It cost $12 at AutoZone, and I loved it. And then somebody gave me this for a 4th of July present, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. This is like the Cadillac. What I had was the Kia, and this is the Cadillac. This thing is amazing. I used it all weekend long, even inside the house because of my lung issue. Anytime I can keep things a little cool and dry, I'm a happier camper. Some of the texts we have received thus far, Tony says that penalty should have been a yellow card at best. Looking at the VAR for judgment was completely wrong and against what they usually would have done. Yes, exactly. Look, I felt like the refs were completely even-handed in the Paraguay match. I felt like they may have been leaning a little toward America in the Australia match, and so did Australia, which I thought was interesting. I thought they were 1,000% against us in Turkey when we played Turkey. And then when we played Bosnia-Herzegovina, I thought that we were getting a pretty fair match until that. And then I was like, whoa, come on, that's not right. Everybody knows that's not right. Everybody in the stadium was booing that call, the red card call. So now, and I didn't know this, but apparently complaining about reffing in soccer is every bit as normal as complaining about reffing in Southeastern Conference football. I was not aware of that.
You see the players whining at the referee all the time,
right.
Pointing it out.
Oh, there are people who are like, well, that was a handball. He touched that. How do you not see that? What do you?
Offsides.
Offsides. They love to call offsides. Yeek. McGee says Alabama airports 96 public, 38 private, and over 206 private use airfields. I had no idea.
I guess I-20 is a private use airfield if necessary.
Technically, yes. Maria says, I love the animals, and I forgot how much I did until I watched an old video of them. Yeah, the animals were awesome. Mary Jo says, my husband just saw a few Scottish guys in the Waffle House in Coleman. They're retired and had so much fun in Boston, they wanted to travel around, and they've had more fun in the South than in Boston, which they thought was unbelievable. One of them is actually planning to move to Alabama. Well, welcome to Alabama, Scotty. We'd love to have you. Don't tell anybody. Sean talks about the Irish couples videos. I've seen these guys. They were big Alabama football fans. They were all over. I caught them in Clanton. Someone bought their dinner, and they were absolutely flabbergasted. They felt like they should have given a present in return. It's so great this is happening to bring the world closer together. I agree. And I love the fact that Americans are offering to buy, hey, let me get that drink for you. Let me get that dinner for you. Let me, pick up your tab. We want you to feel welcome.
Picked up a fan in the rain, drove them back home in Boston.
Right.
Back to where they were staying.
Yeah.
It was Europe, you don't see this.
Apparently
he said,
not.
It's so different from the way we're portrayed in the media there.
Yeah.
So I guess their media is like our media.
Pretty much.
They just show you what they think they want you to think instead of all the good things. It's people are astonished that in the South people will wave at you when they don't even know you. I do that all the time.
Or talk to you. There's a guy filming videos. That man just asked how I'm doing. Is that normal? Do you do that here? Yes, we do. All the time. And then they talk a little bit about the gun culture. You hear about people are like, oh, there's guns everywhere. It's dangerous. It's awful. Everyone's carrying a gun. And then you find somebody who's been through the process. Well, first off, there's a lot of video of these guys at shooting ranges because they've never shot a gun before. And so their American hosts will be, oh, come on, let's go. I'm going to teach you how to shoot, and we're going to learn. And then they come back and they go, the reverence and respect that these people have for firearms is second to none. They're not just out there blasting away. They really actually take this very seriously. No kidding. It's one of our amendments. Yes, we take it seriously.
That's right.
But the number of foreigners I have seen being taken to gun ranges is hilarious. And the excitement that they have when they fire the firearm I just love it. I just love the fact that their eyes light up and they're like, this is awesome. Yes, it is.
I saw one guy say, we've seen so many places, Buc-ee's, Waffle House, Taco Bell.
Yeah.
I said, yep, you hit the high spot.
You've got that's America. Congratulations. Would you like to try one of our national parks? Scene from the movie Hamburger Hill has Huey's Landing with You Gotta Get Out of This Place playing. That, to me, makes that the ultimate Vietnam song, far more than Fortunate Son ever will be. I remember that scene very well. Hamburger Hill was not, it came out at the time that a lot of those war films were happening, Full Metal Jacket and the like, Platoon, and Hamburger Hill just kind of got lost in the shuffle. It was about Korea.
One of my law partners who was in Vietnam said when they're talking about Fortunate Sons, the Vietnam song, he said for us it was Let's Live for Today by the Grassroots.
Let's live. I was wrong about that. It is about Vietnam. Pork Chop Hill was in Korea. Sorry about that. Here comes Will with just a punchline. That dog would bite you.
That's it.
Classic. Remember the snake bite scene in Woody Allen's Bananas? Yes, very.
I have been bitten by a snake. Somebody help me! And Woody's chasing after that girl. You know what her last name was?
No.
Areola.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
The brown and white one ended up with the same snake bite, named snake bite. After the third or fourth time she got bitten, Rip is the other one. Patrick sends over a picture of his two dogs. Ooh, they're so cute. I love those puppies. I want to pet them. Can't help myself. Who recalls Mason Reese playing this on a classical guitar with goldfish floating around inside? I think you mean Mason Williams.
Yes.
Mason Reese was the little red-headed kid that sold Underwood deviled ham and Dunkin' Donuts munchkins.
Do you appreciate how good your memory is? I mean, do you go out and realize that you're in the top 1% of people memories and what little you did to try to preserve it when you were young? And
Excuse
it still
me.
hung you out.
Have you forgotten an hour and a half ago now when you and I were both sitting here off the air trying to remember the name of someone that was completely evading both of us?
Yes, and somebody you had worked with for, 10 years or something like that.
Sad, very sad.
Oh, it gets worse. It gets so. I remember right before my dad, right after he broke his hip, he was 90, and he only had 3 more years to live, and we're sitting at the breakfast room table, and he looks at me, he says, "What's the name of that religion that bombed us on 9/11?" I said, "Muslim." And I could see everything in him shrivel up like, how could I forget that?
Right. Yeah.
Look,
I understand completely.
I know you're picking on old people and short people today. Paul Pelosi and Bruce Springsteen and
Valerie and I talk about this. It's to me, I call it reaching for a word. Like you go to the shelf to get the word, and you're hoping as you're working your way along the sentence, perfectly well that you don't have the word yet. And you get there, to get to that point, you're just hoping that word will come down off the shelf for you, and it doesn't. And then you start thinking of synonyms. You start going like, what can I say instead of that?
Your brain is like a Rolodex, but the spring is broken.
Yeah.
So all the words are there, but they're not alphabetical or in any other order.
No, I'm afraid not.
Then you go, hey Siri, what's the word for that?
The word for the thing with the guy in the deal.
That's it.
Help me out with that. Yeah, what's his face? It is 9 o'clock with Dixon Inviting on Talk 99.5 and Talk 99.5. Yeah, baby. Ron claims that baby rattlesnakes are not more venomous than adults and can control how much venom they give. The other is a myth. I've heard my entire life, brother.